Okay, recently I made a video about the new Borg stuff you get from the Scorpion's Abyss story mission, which it's cool costume parts, really is. However, as you can see here, it doesn't necessarily fit aesthetically with every option for costumes. It's like it's very bulky and feels like it's meant to go on top of, you know, an exoskeletal frame, armor kind of thing, and not, just a regular outfit. Although it is interesting just how well it lines up with these Krenim shoulder decoration things. It's like a badge that you can only wear on Krenim costumes, if I remember right. Anyway, though, interesting coincidence aside, I was thinking to myself, like, what could aesthetically work to do a similar function and maybe possibly get mixed with the Borg stuff just to make it look a little cooler. So I was thinking, it's like, oh, the Lukari stuff, that works, right? Well, see, the problem here is that there's actually 3 different Lukari costumes in the game. 2 of which are complete costumes, kind of, sort of, and the third one is an alternate variant of the second one. So let's take a look at them. Here I took that costume that I had in the previous picture and modified it to use the Krenim colony worker with the short-sleeved shirt as the top and pants as the base. Thing is, the Krenim colony stuff, while it has a cowl, which is a really cool cape piece, you'll see people use a lot, and this colony scanner thingy, which gives you this little like glowing probe thing wrapped around your neck. It doesn't actually have a whole lot of accessories. As you can see here, I still have all of the Borg stuff from the other costume because this costume just doesn't have anything that goes in that costume layer. And it's the same with the waist. No belt, no leg attachments, just pants and boots. Looks pretty cool, and it does kind of give you freedom to mix and match with other things but it doesn't actually come with any accoutrements except for the cape and colony scanner. So let's take a look at the other version of it because, oops, wrong button. Like I said, the colony thing has 3 different top options, and it also has like pants and skirt options. Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention the gloves. Well, these are the gloves Kumaarke wears. In the tailor, they're actually listed as the colony gloves. Which, why that is, I don't know. Because apparently, like, they designed a sets of things to be colony world unlocked, so you get your fleet colony thingy. Then you have the Lukari armor set that you get from the reputation stuff. But the actual Kumaarke NPC that we see in the game wears a weird mismatch of those things. I mean, it looks like a cool costume, but it's not a specific Lukari inspired costume. It's a combination of parts of them. Alright, so now what does the Lukari armor look like? Because this is the skirt variant. Oh yeah, also, I forgot to mention. The third version of the colony top. The service uniform top. It's kind of like halfway in between the two. Honestly, it's like, it looks like a shirt instead of, this leathery thing. And it has like the long sleeves instead of being rolled. And it kind of sort of has the little thing in the middle, but it's much smaller and not particularly glossy looking. That is actually one thing that's kind of weird, is that the Lukari armor has this as a separate costume layer. The jacket just, it's there. You can't do anything with it on the jacket. Oh wait, it says badge colony here. Never mind. Oops. Missed that part. Okay, anyways, so moving on. Now, let's start with the Lukari armor. Or move on to Lukari armor. Yeah, this one has this as the undershirt / accessory layer, not the badge layer. Undershirt / accessory, which is mandatory, mind you. But you can recolor it with a very wide range of colors. Yeah, it's that color palette. Have fun. Badge. This one actually doesn't have a badge. You can wear some badges with this, but not very many. Also, this is a KDF Romulan character, so, you know, certain options are just not there because KDF reasons. This thing is actually part of the shoulder pad. It goes around behind your head. Like, the one over here, that was the left shoulder pad. And the Mirror Lukari one that goes right here is actually a collar, so you could actually have all three of these antenna things at the same time. That was probably intentional on the part of the devs. So, part of the reason why I thought of this one, though, is that it has these tube things. Now, one thing that is somewhat annoying about these tube things is that because they're designed to go into these bulky shoulder pad things, they don't really mesh particularly well with regular shirt sleeves. Like here. See, it has that long, like, plug sticking into your arm. That, yeah, it just looks like there's a bolt sticking out of your arm almost. Very awkward. So, I mean, again, it's a cool costume part, but it's designed to go with certain specific things. Although, the general feel of these shoulder pads does actually mesh pretty well with the Borg aesthetics, which is part of the reason why I was going over this whole thing, is that the Lukari stuff mixing with Borg stuff would actually work pretty nicely. And as you can see, it's like I have the Borg neck cables, and they mesh with the shoulder pads really, really sweet. But the neck cables are the only layer on this that is still here. Anyway, though, so gloves. You know what? I'll show you the gloves when we get to the mirror one. I was like, unlike the colony uniform, these have a single costume item for the torso, lower, and boots. Well, okay, the colony only had one boots too, but whatever. And the Mirror Lukari uses the same basic uniform as the Reputation set Lukari outfit. It just puts on different accoutrements. Like this thing here, drastically different. Another thing with these, though, is that the cables that this, or well, at least the one on the left arm, or well, this arm, that would be the left. Like this is like this thing I was saying earlier, but has like this massive bolt-looking thing here, which is unfortunate. This, however, is a much more subtle cable that actually works much better with random other costume things. Obviously, it's meant to connect to this collar piece here. At least I think that was a collar. Let me double check. Yeah. This is the chest gear item. And that is the collar item. Which, like I said earlier, it's like you can actually wear all three of these like scanning antenna thingies at the same time, and the way they have all the like tubes and stuff would actually work pretty well with Borg stuff. Like this looks like a external cybernetic implant almost, honestly. So yeah. Oh, also, it's like this one actually does have these shoulder pad things. These are actually specifically part of the Mirror Kumaarke set. It's a fun costume, honestly. And mixing it... Oh yeah, also, almost forgot, the gloves. These are referred to as Lukari Glove 2, and I think they are actually unlocked by getting the Lukari armor set. Although, honestly, I don't know. You know what? I should recolor them so that they match the color that I'm using for the rest of it. There we go. It does actually kind of sort of match the whole like plastic coated cloth feel that this outfit has. So yeah, they do kind of sort of look like they belong with the Lukari armor set. Anyway, though. So, yeah. This is one of those things where the devs did something that was actually a really, really unique outfit idea, and in a way that mixes reasonably well with a lot of things. Several things that devs did with Borg stuff don't mix well, but the new implant set mixes well with a lot of things, and so does this old Lukari thing. And the Lukari thing, in some ways, when it's a liberated Borg and not like a full Borg body costume with the Borg exoskeletal plate and all that stuff, this honestly, like, kind of sort of feels more like in keeping with what you would have for a liberated Borg than a full Borg, because like a lot of the Borg costume parts are just like excessively bulky. Like, actually, you know what? Here, as an example of just how excessively bulky some of them are, this face piece that is just like covering half of her face. It's not that it looks bad, it's just, you know, it's like obviously like here is like all of the Borg stuff. And then you have like the full exoskeletal thing, which doesn't mesh well with much of anything because of just how differently sculpted it is. And also there's the fact that the devs made it a separate costume category so that you can't use normal costume parts with it because of the fact that it's, you know, like a full body suit that's like built as a single unit. Does it look cool? Yes. Do I personally like the way it can be customized? Not really, because of just how few options there actually are. Oh well. Anyway, though, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. But like the actual reason why I was going over all of the Lukari options was because of the fact that the Borg stuff, when you try putting on a outfit like this, it's kind of gets in the way. And I thought that'd be interesting to see how you could do as something more subtle using the Lukari parts. Like here, you know what? Let's take a look and modify hers quickly to use the Lukari parts. Okay, let's see. Pick up the color off of the wristband because I want to color match all of this stuff. Color. Lukari mirror. Now, the Lukari mirror stuff just always glows purple. You can't change that to a different color for some reason. I don't understand why. Also, it's a single color on the antenna piece. It doesn't have the option to change the color at all, which is strange. Like this whole thing here is a single color, which is kind of workable, but not necessarily great. So, color match that to the shirt, because I can't do this light purple, which is a bit annoying. I could attempt to just like reshade the costume to match the antenna, which honestly isn't drastically different, except that it's still different enough that I don't want to. It looks very, very off. Also, it's like attempting to reshade it like that is actually kind of not working. Needs something that's a bit more pink. Oh, that's actually reasonably close. Yes, I know the sash and the jacket are kind of sort of color linked. Whatever, I can live with that. kind of don't mind in this specific instance because of the fact that I kind of want them to be the same color anyways. Let's see if I can get the wrist piece to match that color, or even reasonably close. It's a bit more red and deeper, but yeah, close enough. So, wrist attach right. Let's go with Lukari mirror. Nah. Let's go with the Lukari armor one. And let's see here, shoulder pad right. Colony shoulder scanner. So again, this really kind of like has the same general aesthetic that you have on a lot of the Borg stuff. In terms of like, oh, you have this piece of tech, then you have cables attaching it to a different piece of tech, both of which are kind of sort of bolted to your skin. Now, this is one that actually does have 4 different color channels. Let's see how much variation we can get out of it. You can set this to purple, which matches the mirror one closely. This gray color that it loaded with is actually one of the like defaults that the game uses for a whole lot of things, just automatically, and is actually the same color that the majority of the top is. But let's try to get the pink color. Let's see here. Okay, I could change the whole thing to pink, because like this base color here is like the main plate of it. Let's leave the main plate gray though. That's the number pad part of it. Yeah, sure, we'll change that. Let's see, what's this part here? Oh, these are the buttons. Let's see here. Let's pick this color here. Make the buttons that color. It's just like slightly different. Okay then. Well, that looks cool. Now, arm attach right. This has Borg cables and Lukari. Let's see, the hose thick one is the one from the rep costume. Mirror is the one from the event that's thinner and more subtle. This doesn't actually like directly connect to these parts though, because it's designed to connect to the shoulder plate thing that you have to wear instead of this. But when you're looking at it from the front, that's really not all that noticeable because it's such a thin cable. Okay, so let's recolor the cable itself and see how well that... Oh yeah, I didn't recolor the wrist piece either. Ooh, That actually looks really, really subtle in terms of being a nice match. Let's see, let's reload this one, make sure I have the right color. That's another thing some of these do that's kind of annoying to me. They will have certain parts where it looks like it affects more than it really does. Well, You know what? That's good enough, I think. Hands, I already did this. However, because I have the like purple stuff, I'm going to reshade this piece here. One thing that you might actually want to do, like for Borg stuff, is actually using the Dyson Sphere costume, because of the fact that while they are full gloves, they're gloves that have what looks like circuitry drawn on the outside of them. That kind of sort of matches the aesthetic of Borg enhancements that are like stuck on the outside of the skin. Okay, so hands. Oh yeah, that's right. These don't really have a huge variety of things they can do in that regard because they just don't have any like, vivid purple colors you can use on them. This is the brightest shade that's kind of sort of purple that it does. Hmm. Oh well. Well then. Actually, one last thing. Tinker with the face implant. So because like the eye's reflective, you actually don't have a whole lot of options here because of the fact that the colors that it has for eyes reflective are meant to be consistent with human iris colors. Why exactly the cybernetic reflective eyes use human iris colors for the metal ball, I don't know, but it does. So there's one that's like slightly bluish, and that's as far as you can go. Kind of a shame. Yeah. So the metal part of it, again, grayscale, bluish metal, and bronzish metal. All right. The colors, you do actually have a purple glow option for the colors, so we can go with that. And yeah, there we go. You know what? Yeah, there is one thing. Should change the boots. Color of the boots no longer matches the color of the rest of the outfit. So we change this to the... Oh wait, that's right. For some reason, these boots don't use the right a compatible color palette. These boots use the metal color palette. I'm going to have to switch boots then. Quite frankly, I'm not sure why I was using those boots in the first place. It's probably something that the game just like automatically threw in or something. Now these are the Lukari colony ones, which nah. These are actually genuinely one of my favorite boots, but I'm not going to use them with this costume. I don't really feel like they match the aesthetic. Tempting. Very tempting, honestly. This is probably the best option. Because, like, the way I remember this outfit is like, in the TV show, they didn't actually have bulky boots. They had something that looked kind of sort of like high-top sneakers almost, but like extra high-top. So something that's like cloth, but covers most of your lower leg. Again, it uses the metal color palette for some reason. Ugh. This is the shoe version of the set of 7 of 9 stuff. Sure, let's try it. See how that looks. Nope. Nope. Okay, this uses a real palette. Interesting that the soles on these are hard locked to being black. Maybe if I was to find a boot that had 4 color channels, I could change the color of the soles. Oh boy. Okay, so this is the Alliance boots. 24 on 9. Do these have 4 sides? Yes, they do. Change this to something that's non-black. But the again, because like this is like the actual like bottom of this boot. And then change back to the Alliance boots, and yeah, they now have light gray soles. Huh. Interesting. Well, let's see how this comes out. Gotta reassign all this stuff. No, wait, that's too dark. That was one of the... That looks pretty good. I could keep going with this, but yeah, spending another 10 minutes tinkering with different boot options, trying to find a pair of boots that looks more in line with the TOS Romulan aesthetics and is also properly recolorable. That might take a long time. Alrighty then, so I will end it here. See you guys next time.